Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the class. In the previous class, we were discussing about the provisions of equality our constitution makers has made in the constitution. Our constitution has the most important goal in front of it is the setting up of an equal society. There should not be any kind of discrimination among people on any basis. This is the aim of our constitution, and in order to achieve that aim, our constitution has given so many rights to all the people equally. There is no discrimination has been done by the constitution among people. All the people are guaranteed same rights. Okay, and in this connection we can say that people have treated equally by the constitution, and the reason behind this equal treatment is that our constitution makers were of the opinion that the society should be just. It should be justiciable society. There should not be any kind of discrimination among the people, and uh, when there will not be discrimination among the people by the state or by the constitution or by the government, then only we can think of unity. When all the people are treated equally by the country or by the government, then what happens that all the people have all the people are filled with the passion, with the emotion of unity, because they all are equal. And when there is discrimination, then what happens that one class or section of a society becomes the enemy of the other class or the society, because one class or section is being exploited. They are being exploited by the other section, and in this way what happens that the society will the people of the society will not be united. And if they are not united, then what happens, their strength becomes less. They become less strong. So, our constitution makers wanted India to be a strong nation, and in order to make India a strong nation, it was very much important that all the people should be treated equally. And our constitution has provided this equality to all. Everyone has equal rights and opportunity. No one is above the law. Everyone is equal in the eyes of law. If anyone does any crime, he will be punished according to the law. He may be any post holder, but that post, or he may belong to a very rich class, but still these are not the matter of consideration. The only thing is that that law is supreme. Everyone, every citizen of India are equal in the eyes of law. Every Indian is using the equal rights. Then the second arrangement which is done by our constitution is the removal of untouchability. I told you na, in the previous class we were discussing about this problem of Indian society. In our society, in the pre-independent society, the practice of untouchability was a major problem, and this practice was totally banned through the constitution. Now it is a crime. If we practice untouchability at a public place, then it is crime, and anyone can take the help of the judiciary against whom we have behaved in that manner, and the person can be in jail. So you are not allowed by law, by constitution, to practice untouchability. Then now, again, the another kind of equality which is given by the constitution is people are free to choose the kind of work they wish to do. In the caste system, it was told you know it was told to you that people were not free to take up any job. They were they were bounded by the society to do only that work which is assigned to their caste. Okay, so now what happened in the free India? It was done by the constitution that people are free to choose the kind of work they wish to do according to their choice, according to their interest, according to their talent. They can do any work. No one can stop them from doing any work. Work means something what a person do for the livelihood. Okay, then the another provision in our constitution for the establishment of equal society is the government jobs are open to all. It means that in the process of recruitment to the government job, there is equality is maintained. Everyone is free to be recruited in the government job. What is the requirement? The requirement is key. They should fulfill the merit, isn't it, for the purpose of for fulfilling the job post of for filling the seats of government job. What happens? Government conducts many examination, and in order to go for those examination, a person is required to have some qualification. And if the person has those educational qualification, then he will be able to sit in the examination which is done for the recruitment to the government jobs, and whoever pass the exams, he will be given the government job. So there is no consideration of caste, there is no consideration of gender, there is no consideration of economic status or religion or anything. Everything is free for everyone. Okay, then again, we find that our constitution goes one step further. And what is this one step further? Our constitution makers gave equal rights to all the people. Okay, there it was completely, it was clearly written in our constitution that there should not be any kind of discrimination among the people on the basis of religion or caste or gender. Okay, so this is done by our constitution, but this was not the um, this was not the complete thing. Our constitution makers went one step further, because in our constitution there is provision that the government can take specific steps to uh, mm, make the right to equality for poor and other marginal communities, because इसके पीछे whatever was the reason why our constitution asked the government to take specific steps for the poor and other marginal communities. क्यों हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मेकर्स ने गवर्नमेंट को ये कहा कि वो स्पेसिफिक स्टेप्स ले सकती हैं पुअर के लिए, और जो मार्जिनल कम्युनिटीज है, मार्जिनल कम्युनिटीज मीन्स दोज कम्युनिटीज विच आर नॉट एट द सेंटर, ठीक है, जिनके साथ अच्छा बिहेवियर नहीं होता है बाय द सोसाइटी, दे आर कॉल्ड marginal communities. For example, tribals are marginal communities. The people belonging to minority religious groups are marginal communities. So these are marginal communities, and our constitution makers were very much aware that in our society the condition of the poor and the marginal communities was very bad, and only by giving them equal right will not ensure their growth. If we really want the poor to grow, if we really want the marginal communities to grow, to develop, then what is the requirement? There is requirement of some specific programs, some specific laws, some specific steps, so that they can be developed, they can become a developed people. Okay, so our constitution has given some special responsibilities to the government to take some specific steps, okay, for the poor and marginal communities. Now I am reading the text. The writers of the constitution also said that respect for diversity was a significant element in ensuring equality. They felt that people must have the freedom to follow their religion, speak their language, celebrate their festivals, and express themselves freely. They said that no one language, religion, or festival should become compulsory for all to follow. They said that the government must treat all religions equally. So our country, India, the unique feature of our country is diversity. Our country, we are discussing with this feature only. In the last chapter also we were discussing diversity, and this chapter is also discussing diversity. So diversity of language, diversity of religion, diversity of culture, these are the basic feature of India. And our constitution makers, they did not wanted that this diversity should be crushed. They wanted that this diversity should be promoted, this diversity should be encouraged. And uh, if they wanted to encourage the diversity, then what was the need? How we can encourage diversity? How we can promote diversity? We can do this by giving freedom to all. Everyone is free in India. It is given by our constitution that everyone is free in India to follow any religion. No one can force anybody to follow a particular religion. Everyone is free to follow any of the religion. Everyone is free to speak any language, whatever they want. No one can force anybody to speak a certain language. Okay. Everyone is free to celebrate the festivals according to their religion, and everyone is free to express themselves. So these are the rights which were given to the people of India, so that their diversity should not be crushed. It should not happen that in India, you must be aware that in India, Hindus are in majority. Around 85% of the population belongs to Hindu community. But that does not mean that the Hindus can force anybody to who are less in number. They are called minorities. So Hindus are in majority and other religious groups are in minority. But our constitution has made it completely clear that the religion of majority or the language of majority will not be imposed on minority. किसी भी माइनॉरिटी ग्रुप के मेंबर को मेजॉरिटी ग्रुप का जो भी रिलीजन है उसको फॉलो करने के लिए उसको कंपेल नहीं किया जा सकता, फोर्स नहीं किया जा सकता है, ठीक है। एंड इंडिया का कोई भी क्या है, ऑफिशियल रिलीजन नहीं है। हमारी गवर्नमेंट डज नॉट यूज एनी काइंड ऑफ रिलीजन, इट इज नॉट यूजिंग एनी काइंड ऑफ रिलीजियस सिंबल्स, ठीक है। तो इन दिस वे our constitution makers has made India a secular country, and it is very important to know. It is very important for you to know, because our country is secular. It means all the religion are equal in the eyes of the state, in the eyes of the constitution in the eyes of the government. No religion can be given priority by the government. Okay, every religion are equal. The state has, the country has no official religion, and every citizen, every people who are living in India has the freedom of religion. They can follow any religion. They, no one can force them to follow any other religion. So this is the concept of secularism which was adopted by our country. Okay. Now I'm reading this text. Therefore, India, I'm here, okay? Therefore, India became a secular country where people of different religions and faiths have the freedom to practice and follow their religion without any fear of discrimination. This is seen as an important element of our unity, that we all live together and respect one another. So, our constitution makers wanted India to encourage diversity, promote diversity. Okay, and that is the reason our constitution makers make India a secular country where everyone is free to practice and follow their religion without any fear. Okay, and this is very much important if we want our country to be united, because if a group is given more importance by the government, if the government is giving more importance, if the government is giving priority to a particular religious group or linguistic group, then what happened, that there will be lack of unity among the people, because there will be inequality. So our constitution makers wanted India to be a strong nation, and the strength of India lies in the equality, principle of equality. So they provided for the principles of equality. Though these ideas are enshrined in our constitution, this chapter points out that inequalities exist even today. It's not like that uh, our constitution has made so many provisions, and because of those provisions now there is no any kind of inequality is not there in India. ठीक है, ऐसी बात नहीं है कि only by making provisions in the constitution हमारे कंट्री का जो भी इनइक्वालिटी का प्रॉब्लम है वो पूरी तरह से एंड हो गया है. नो, दिस इज नॉट द केस. Still there is a problem of inequality in our country. ओके, आज भी बहुत सारे ऐसे प्लेसेस हैं जहाँ पर कास्ट के बेसिस पे या रिलीजन के बेसिस पे या जेंडर के बेसिस पे इनइक्वालिटी जो है वो एग्जिस्ट कर रही है. लेकिन फिर भी क्या है, इक्वालिटी इज अ वैल्यू, इक्वालिटी इज अ गोल, दैट इज अ गोल, and we have to make efforts to achieve that goal. Okay, we should not be discouraged that in spite of provisions of equality in the constitution, there is still existing inequality in our country even after 70 years of this constitution came into effect. Still we have to always make efforts in the direction of achieving equal society. Okay, so people's struggle and positive actions by the government are necessary to make this a reality for all Indians. How can we make the objective of making a equal society? That this equal society can came into existence only through the struggles of people. People must raise their voice against unequal treatment. It is the voice of the people which will really going to make a difference. So the responsibility is very much on the people. They should not be whatever is existing, it should be like that only. No, they should raise their voice against the exploitation. They should raise their voice against the inequalities. And besides the effort by people, there must be effort from the part of government also. Government should also make such laws, make such rules which really works in the direction of bringing equality in the society. So equality will always be a goal for in front of us. That is a goal, and we have to make an effort to achieve that goal. Okay, so this is the end of your chapter. Now have a look over this. This is the preamble of our constitution. And in this preamble, what is written? Preamble means your book. You must have, when you open your book, what you see, there is a preface, isn't it? In every book, there is a preface before the contents. Uh, the page that contain the contents of the book. Before that, there is a page in which preface is written. So that preface is actually preamble. In our constitution, that preface is called preamble. In preamble, our constitution makers had written the aims, the goals of the constitution. What goals the constitution has been written down? What are the goals in front of the constitution of India? What goals the constitution of India wants to achieve? ठीक है, so these are the goals. You can see the bold letters. We the people of India. Who is making the constitution? The constitution is being made by the people of India, though the people of India has not directly took part in the constitution making. Actually, what happened? There was an election, and in this election, people chosen their representatives, and these representatives made the constitution. So in a way, who are the makers of the constitution? The makers of the Indian constitution are the people. Okay, and these are the bold words which are the goals of the constitution: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, then justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. Okay, so these are the main points of our discussion. Now we will discuss the question answer. In the first, you will see that there is matching. You have to do matching. Okay. In this, you can see two surgeons were sitting down to launch. Two, two surgeons were sitting down to lunch when one of them made a call on the mobile phone. Okay. So you have to match the following statements in a way that challenges a stereotype. Okay, you have to match in such a way that challenges the stereotype. Listen, what is the accepted norm? It is a kind of rule. You must be knowing that if you are eating with someone, then you should not. Mm, then you should not leave the dinner or the eating and do other work. आप अगर किसी के साथ खा रहे हैं और अगर वैसे में आप किसी के को मोबाइल पे फोन करने लगे तो उसको क्या माना जाता है? दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज बैड मैनर. तो ये क्या है? ये एक स्टीरियोटाइप है. ये स्टीरियोटाइप हमें कहता है कि अगर हम किसी के साथ लंच कर रहे हैं या खाना खा रहे हैं, वॉट एवर, लंच, डिनर, ब्रेकफास्ट, एनीथिंग, अगर किसी के साथ कर रहे हैं तो वैसे कंडीशन में हमें फोन नहीं करना चाहिए. मतलब अगर हम फोन कर रहे हैं तो क्या कर रहे हैं? हम जिस पर्सन के साथ हम खा रहे हैं, वी आर disrespecting that person. This is the stereotype. So now we are seeing that he made a call for what? he made a call to speak with her daughter who had just returned from school. So, in his opinion, what is important? It is very much important for him to talk to her daughter who had been to school and now she has just returned. So he is giving importance to the needs of the children, maybe because of safety reason or any kind of emotional support she was needing. The person is making a call at that time when he is having a lunch with another. Okay, so what is done by the person? He, just a moment. Now we will match this to speak with her daughter who had just returned from the school. Now, in the second statement, what is written that the boy who won the drawing competition went to the dais. It is always expected that the person who wins any competition is a fit person. He should be very fit physically, mentally, in all ways he must be a fit person. But here we have to challenge the stereotype. Remember this thing, we have to challenge the stereotype. Whatever the stereotype is existing in the society, we have to make our statement by challenging it. The stereotype is कि whoever wins any kind of competition should be physically and mentally fit. But here we can say that the boy who won the drawing competition went to the dais on a wheelchair to collect his prize. It is often believed, it is the prejudice of the society that a person who is disabled, okay, he is not fit for anything. But here what we find that the boy won the drawing competition, though he is a disabled person. Okay, now one of the fastest athletes in the world suffers from chronic asthma. It is also believed, it is also the stereotype of society that if a person has any chronic disease, chronic means बहुत सीवियर जो होना, बहुत पुरानी बीमारी होना, अगर किसी को इस तरह की chronic disease है तो he will not be physically fit. But here what we find that the fastest athlete in the world is suffering from chronic asthma. So this is also challenging stereotype. She was not well, she was not that well off, but had a dream to become an astronaut, which she did. So we are talking about a poor person, a poor girl who was not well off. See, her economic condition was not good, but still she had a dream to become an astronaut. Usually, what happens? Such dreams to become an astronaut, to become a rocket scientist, these dreams are seen only by the people who have money, and because these are very expensive careers. In order to be an astronaut or in order to be a rocket scientist, we need to spend a lot. So it is the stereotype of the society that only rich people can become astronauts. But in this statement, we are saying that a girl is who is not well off, but still she had a dream and she completed her dream also. Okay. Now we are coming to the second question. How can the stereotype that girls are a burden on their parents affect the life of a daughter? Imagine this situation and list at least five different effects that the stereotype can have on the uh, can have on the way daughters get treated in the house. In this, we can say that it is a stereotype that girls are a burden. Okay, girls are considered to be a burden, and because of this stereotype, the life of girls becomes very tough. The parents used to differentiate with their children. If you are a girl child, then you can be, it's not ki you will be, then you can be discriminated against. Many times it happens that they do not receive proper love and care from the family. The boys are more loved than the girls. They are more desirable than the girls. Many times it also happened that they discontinue their education because now they think that it is not useful to educate the girl child. It also happens that many times they do not get adequate food. Hmm. They are also asked to do household works, not to go outside. Instead of going out, they should do household work. So these are the problems which a girl faces because they are considered as a burden on their family. So for this class, this is all, and now we will meet tomorrow.